All right, welcome back to Theendstep.com. Here for our Theros set review. Today we're doing green, my favorite color. James's least favorite color.
This card has my favorite color on it.
Yay! Agent of Horizons. Unfortunately, the card is not super exciting.
I think it's fine.
Definitely decent, especially for a common.
Yes.
3/2 for 3, pretty aggressive. And then, especially if you're in blue, you can use the bonus, which is can't be blocked.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, pretty excited common. We're gonna go with Anthusa or Anthusa. Anthusa.
Yes.
Okay. It's the Tessin Hero, the other pre-release card and intro pack card. Not my favorite out of those, but still pretty solid.
Yeah, she's definitely pretty solid. I don't like how to fully utilize her heroic, you want to be attacking with those 2/2s,
Right.
but like it puts your lands under the bus a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
That I don't like because you're in green, and to me, green is the monstrous color.
Yes.
And you want your lands for something like that.
The thing I really don't like in terms of gameplay-wise with this card is like you have to heroic before combat to get your lands animated so you can attack.
Yeah.
Which is not how I like using combat tricks at all. Like combat tricks are, I'm in combat.
They're called tricks for a reason.
Blockers have happened, and it's like, oh, blowout central, like
Right.
giant growth. Like
Right.
this is like, I want to giant growth my guy main phase, animate my lands, then
Yeah.
attack, and it's like, oh, all right.
Yeah, this makes you play everything like backwards.
No secrets.
And for you to actually get through with like your 6 power heroic trigger, it's like you're already in a positive board state. So it's like, yeah, I'm winning this game. I guess I'll just win a turn faster.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Arbor Colossus, a 5 for 6/6.
Yeah, with reach, definitely nothing to scoff at. I don't love the mana cost on it. It's like,
Yeah, that's the only reason why it's like.
yeah, why they were able to go so cheap with the mana cost.
Yeah.
There's just better fat guys for green. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's decent.
Oh yeah, he's rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was uncommon. If he was uncommon, I think he'd be much better.
Yeah, definitely.
I would only pick this up if I'm super heavy green, like third pack. Like, all right, I'm pretty deep on the screen. I'll just pick like this dude.
And you know it's going to go around the table too. Like, so you need to take it early.
Right. Yeah, he's a little underwhelming.
Yeah, definitely a little underwhelming. I don't see him in constructed. He's just not good enough for like that amount of commitment to green.
Yep.
So.
Next up, we have Artisan Sorrow.
I like this card. I think this is main deckable in limited this format.
Yes, I agree.
There's too many enchantments around. Some artifacts, so you'll be able to get some value.
That's definitely why they made it an uncommon too.
Right.
Because it's gonna
because
hit way too
it's
strong.
almost straight up removal in this set. Like legitimate removal.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Scry 2, very good for green.
Scry 2 is a very big number.
Yep.
It doesn't sound like it, but it is.
Yeah, it's huge. It says it'll be next 2 turns.
In terms of constructed, there's much better sideboard options.
Yeah, I think it's depending on your color pie. Like, if you're mono green, it's not too much.
Yeah, maybe. But if you're green-red, we've got Revelry.
Right. Yeah. Boon Satyr, one of my favorite cards in the set, actually.
The best bestow card?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's not even a competition. It's an actual bestow cost that's like reachable.
Right, and reasonable.
And reasonable. The thing I like about this card, alongside like say Gorkland Rampager, you have like these 2 creatures that act as combat tricks. So like now like combat for your opponent is like pretty frightening. It's like, do I block? Oh god, you have Rampager and Boon Satyr.
Yeah, this card is a really good boon for Dominary raid decks.
So yeah, it's like that's why I'm like, woo, Dominary.
Yeah.
So and then 4 power turn 2 off of like a Elvish Mystic. That's a good clock. I'm all about that.
Yeah, add instant speed.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this guy.
Yeah, this guy's very good. He will see lots of constructed play.
I mean, the 2 toughness is definitely what keeps him back, but they had to.
You have to.
They had to negate him a little bit.
You can't have it all.
Right.
Cake and eat it too.
Bang.
The bow, your third pick.
So it's my 3rd weapon, honestly.
All right, defend it. Go.
I think Death Touch is a huge thing for green because one, your green guys are always big, right? And Death Touch makes creatures basically have an unblockableness to them. So, because like you're not going to want to block because it killed your guy because it has Death Touch. But green also has a lot of trample, which makes combat miserable for your opponent because now you can just assign 1 damage with Death Touch and get the rest of the damage through. So like
Right.
I can see this with green trample-y creatures, it just gets out of control. And then besides that, you have these 4 possible things you could do. Granted, they're not all great, but like
It is value town.
it's just a free boost to your guy every turn at the minimum. Like say you don't nothing to do, you have a guy, you can make him bigger, 1 at a time. And then if there's flyers, you're just shooting flyers for like free value. Like I'm all about that. And then like, oh, you need some life? Have some 3 life healing salve on demand. Like that's pretty good. And then if you have like some kind of scenario where you can like recur guys by like shuffling them back in, if you have like some kind of search thing, this would be more of a constructed scenario where I could see the last ability coming out. Search a library for a guy or whatever. Like you can put him back in your deck and get him back.
Right.
Or you shuffle your bomb back in. Like if somebody kills your bomb in limited, boom, you please shuffle it back in your deck and maybe you'll redraw it. So I think it's good. I honestly do. I don't think it's better than the whip or the spear, but
No, but you're talking from a constructed standpoint on all this.
Some limited, some constructed. Yeah.
Because I think we're in agreement that this is very close to being the best weapon in limited.
Okay, yeah, in limited it's tough to beat.
This is
much.
insane in limited.
Yeah.
And I'm fully in agreement. When it comes to the death touch thing, it feels redundant to me because like your creatures are already, like you said, they're huge.
Yeah.
Like how many times you can not block?
Well,
you're already gonna be throwing your dudes under the bus anyway.
Yeah, I could see where you're going with that. Yeah, that was like a bad phrasing of the argument. So like green has your big guys, which generally they don't want to block because they eat your opponent's guys.
Right.
But also you green, you have your small guys like Elvish Mystic, which ramped you into your big guys. So now you can, instead of always keeping that guy back because you got outclassed, now you can get in there with your Elvish Mystic.
Death touch on a Mystic is much better. Yes. But then again, like those are the kind of creatures you can just like let through. It's just 1 power.
Yeah, but there's plenty of board states where like you can't attack with Elvish Mystic because it just gets eaten.
Yeah, that is a better argument for the card. But like it's, do you want to be in that board state or do you want to just win?
No, I definitely.
And the activation, I think the life is probably going to be the second best activation.
Okay.
But that's really like only in like a red, like you're on the back foot kind of setup because putting the counters is always going to race you faster than getting the life will, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Depending on like if it's a mirror match or some kind of like who activates the bow first, and the counter to me is the best mode.
I think the bow for constructed, I can see it as like a sideboard card for green. Like it just gives you this like thing that if you need some matchup where you need some more life, or you have a matchup with like against a lot of flyers.
Yes.
Like I can see it as a sideboard card.
I agree, and yes and no, because if you're just green, yes. If you're green red, maybe, and if you're green white, no.
Yeah, green white, no. I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Centaur Battlemaster. This is pretty diesel.
Yeah, 3 counters.
3 counters. Seriously.
Yeah, that one's pretty ridiculous. I mean, he's uncommon and he's 5 mana, but if you do it once, you're way ahead.
Yes.
If you do it twice,
chances are you like Titan strength in the first place too. So that's like 6.
Yeah, that's a ton of damage. So
Yeah.
this guy is definitely one of the more exciting heroics.
Yeah, if you're in green stompies, I like picking this guy up.
Yeah, I'm thinking like green red would be pretty sweet with like the
green white's got a lot of play
yeah,
too.
green white's pretty sweet too.
Next, Commune with the Gods, almost a Mulch-esque card.
Yeah, it's just like a little reverse in terms. You get the creatures.
Yeah, you get creatures or enchantments.
Right.
Which feels kind of silly, because depending on like what deck you're playing, you might have lots of bestow creatures, which are the same, like both.
Well, you can get the god weapons too.
Yes.
Because they're enchantments.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, I flipped 3 bestow creatures. They're both creatures and enchantments.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
You don't have as much. I don't know.
It's definitely a good card. I definitely like it in limited because it's basically get your best card. I think it's possible and constructed, like depending on the deck.
A deck has to build built around it.
Right. Maybe it's like Reanimator.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe. It's kind of pushing it.
oh, actually, I just realized. Yeah, just double checked. So it's you may put a creature or enchantment. So you can fail to find.
Yeah.
And put all 5 in your graveyard.
Yeah, if a self-mill thing comes to be, this could be a help along Grizzly Salvage.
Yeah.
Defend the Hearth.
So it's Fog, right? Oh, all players, huh?
No, that would be 2 players.
So, like,
Yes.
players
Yeah.
plural.
It's a Fog.
Yeah, it's a Fog. It's just an interesting, like, wording for them. Next card I'm pretty excited about.
Fade into Antiquity. Is it a pot or a dude?
I think it's some kind of
Urn.
Yeah, vessel. So Exile's pretty awesome here because guess what? The gods are all indestructible.
Yeah.
But they're also enchantments. So guess what? Boom, 3 mana. See you later, god.
Yeah, we already talked about that. The green enchantment move with Scry, right?
Yeah.
This
That's
is
destroy. So
this is better.
This is better.
Yeah.
That one is instant, I believe.
This is sorcery.
But it's still main deckable. And it still answers any bomb.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of like constructed. I think even at sorcery speed, it's worth it just because the exile is so much better.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
Feral Invocation.
Decent. Definitely playable for green. Because green doesn't have like too much removal, so this kind of acts as a removal where you attack a block situation.
I like how it's not a bestow creature, but they give it flash, so it could be a little bit better still.
Yeah.
If this didn't have flash, I wouldn't really care for
Oh
that.
yeah, if it didn't have flash, it would be irrelevant.
But I like it if it has flash.
Yep.
It helps you like play around in removal.
Yep. Yeah, somebody go to like lightning strike your guy, you're like, whoop.
Yeah. Or like, you can do it on your own terms so you don't get 2 for 1.
Right.
Hunt the Hunter. I don't like this out of the self-hate cycle.
No, I really don't like this actually. This is like the worst fight green card they've printed ever. Like, because it only fights green creatures. It's like, well, pit fight and what was the other one? The other 1 mana one. Pit fight was 2.
There was one in the Archaea block.
Yeah, the original one from Innistrad.
Oh, Prey Upon.
Yeah, Prey Upon. Like, it was just like true green removal. Like this is like, oh, it's removal if you have green on green. It's like, okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's part of the self-hate cycle.
Yeah, it's just like so much less relevant than the other ones.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but the black one keeps popping up into my head.
The black one I think is exceptional.
I think it's like far superior than this, because like you need to be very heavily green deck to like go against other heavily green decks. And I like the bow for that kind of matchup.
Yeah, I can agree with you there.
Karametra's Acolyte. This is a lot of mana.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of mana, and only taps for 1 by itself. I think they played it cautious on this guy because he was too cheap. He could tap for a ton of mana real fast, and that can be dangerous.
Kind of like the Axebane Guardian.
Right. So I think they were like, for constructive purposes, they didn't want to make him too cheap.
Yeah.
Because they already have like Gyre Sage, so it's like a similar effect. But
Yeah.
Both of them you have to work towards, but I'd say this guy's a little easier to turn on than Gyre Sage.
He's a monstrous enabler too.
Yes. Yep.
I don't see him really being played much anywhere though.
I can see him being played limited, especially if you're like in the green red monstrous or
how
green
dirty are
monstrous.
you?
Yeah, like you just jump and curve and going big guys and you're monstrous all your guys.
Yeah, depending how many you have.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Leaf Crown Dryad.
I like this guy.
Is he cheaper bestow or are they all 4? I think
he's
he's cheaper.
There is a little cheaper, yeah. The other ones are like 5, I think.
The 2/2s that do something.
Yeah.
I think I like this one a lot out of that like quote unquote cycle.
Yeah, reach has always been relevant for green. Because it's always been a weakness for green is flyers. So anytime you can have reach guy, it's good. And then surprise reach is it surprise? No, not surprise.
No, it's not surprise.
Reach is decent. But I also like him because he's just a grizzly bear. Sometimes that's what you want.
Grizzly bear with reach.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, grizzly bears are usually okay. Next up, we have Mistcutter Hydra.
So this was like one of the only green creatures that James knew about, and he's like, "Hey, did you see that? You're gonna love this guy." And I was like, "No, I really like him that much."
He's alright. He's just like a fireball. That's pretty much all he is.
Yeah, but we've seen these X creatures before, and like they keep trying different combinations of abilities, and they're still just alright. I'm still not like super excited about. Like I still like Colonian Hydra better than this guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't know. Like yeah, it's cool. I can't be countered. Pro blue, like
Yeah, but he's so tiny.
in those matchups, like that's pretty sweet. But it's like in order to make him like really a threat, you're at 5 mana, you know, for 4/4, something like that.
Yeah, he's so tiny.
Whereas I could play, you know, granted my Colonial Hydra could be countered and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
Azorius Charm and all that stuff, but
Yep.
it's just like how good is this guy in blue versus how good is Colonial Hydra in every other matchup? It's just like you know 99 times out of 100 you're gonna want Colonial Hydra. And that like a couple times when you're playing like the guy with a bunch of unsummons and stuff, like you're like, oh wow, sweet. Glad I had my Mistcutter Hydra.
I think he's okay. The format has to be very blue like control
If
for him to be played. But even then, I think there might be better options.
You think Colonian's better as well?
No, I think green red can do much stronger things. Just falling back on like Domries and Xanagoses and stuff. I think it's gonna be stronger than trying to miscut them out of the game.
Or Rurik Thar, perhaps.
Or Rurik Thar, yeah, exactly. Or just like play heavier. If blue gets crazy, play heavier black and go Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
Happy,
Yeah, so not super exciting this guy.
Nemesis of Mortals.
I do like the artwork and the name on this guy.
Yeah, I love the name.
It's pretty sweet.
And he's like pretty sweet, like.
Yeah, so if this is like a graveyardy guy.
Yeah. This guy could actually get like really, really big. His monstrous is 5.
Yeah, monstrous 5, but I mean it's
and this is an uncommon.
Wow, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, this guy's pretty crazy.
So, yeah, so it's 9 for his monstrous, but it comes cheaper. Huh.
Yeah, well, I mean, say like Magic Christmas Land, you can cast this guy for green.
Okay.
All right, that's 4. That makes his monstrous 5. That's silly.
10/10.
But the monstrous like scales even past the 4 threshold.
Right.
That's pretty nuts.
It's pretty good. I mean, he's crazy and limited. Like, oh my god, he's huge.
Yeah, I don't see this guy being constructed playable. Maybe if like some kind of self-mill deck.
It's like that if that self-mill.
It reminds me of Ghoul Tree.
Yeah, which didn't see play.
No, she didn't see play. But in limited, this guy's amazing.
Yeah, especially uncommon.
Yeah, this is an uncommon.
What?
I would consider picking this up pretty highly.
Yeah.
Messian Asp.
He's decent.
It's fine.
5 mana 4/5. Got some reach. Got some
The ability for monstrous. Yeah. I would probably play ramp dudes in my deck over this guy if I'm like going on to monstrous kind of.
Yeah, thing. He's like a filler guy.
Yeah, he's a filler.
If you need something.
But I'd rather play ramp dudes to make my other stronger creatures like the Mortals guy more likely to happen.
Messian Courser.
This is a reprint.
This is a reprint from the Future Slate.
He had the
full art.
Yeah.
Yep.
I ripped one of those up into 100 pieces once.
Yeah, that's not cool, dude.
Don't know why.
I like those big art cards.
I like them too, but
I almost wish they like printed that as this. It would be super out of place.
Hey, check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Full art center. So 3 mana, 3/3 doesn't do much.
Nylea.
So Nylea, God of the Hunt. She's
big.
With her bow,
She's a fatty.
That's the combo I was talking about. If you have the bow plus this, so now all you guys have trample and death touch.
I don't know. To me, that seems kind of like boring because it's like, all right, you've got green creatures. If you make them more green, it's like, this guy's got trample, but if you give him trample again,
if you really love green creatures,
let's make them more green.
Yeah,
we'll give them trample that they probably already have.
Right. I think it's funny that so her activated ability is target creature gets +2/+2 for 4 mana, but Porphyros was 3 mana for a +1/+0, but to all guys.
Yep.
Which one is better? Yeah, it's like not even close.
Yeah, her ability is pretty lackluster.
Why couldn't that have been +3/+3? Then we're talking.
It's better, yeah. I think no matter which way you shake it, it could have been less mana.
Yeah.
And the toughness is fine because they're big dudes, but they're generally pretty big anyway. And you didn't need the toughness. If it went +3/+0, and like halved the mana or something crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think it's just like Green's so obsessed with like pumps that are symmetrical.
Yeah,
It's just
I can see that.
they've always been that way for Green, and Red's always been just aggressive. No toughness.
They could have made that ability much more like Wolf Run, not necessarily an X, but something you can just like really pump into.
Okay.
Okay. And I think would have made her much better.
Yeah, I can agree with you there.
But not to shake the fact that she's a 6/6 for 4.
Yeah.
If you can like turn the devotion on.
Yeah.
And green is usually lots of double green stuff.
It's definitely decent to turn on. Not the easiest, but
like even Perforos is still a 6 power guy.
yeah, 6/5 instead of 6/6.
Yeah.
I mean that's why she's getting outclassed.
She's got outclassed in like every way. I feel like she could have been.
They could have pushed her a little bit more. I
Yeah.
agree.
I still think she might be better than Thassa.
It's pretty close,
But it's very
close.
close.
I don't like Thassa, so it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But like Thassa's a mana cheaper, so that's something to consider.
Mm-hmm. I don't see this being played.
Not right now. Not right now. I mean, obviously, any mythic or rare is almost crazy and limited, so it's not even worth discussing. So Nylea's Disciple.
This is interesting.
It's decent. So minimum, you're going to gain 2 life.
Right.
I
still think I like Centaur Healer better.
Yeah, if you're
trying to like play that kind of a card.
Well, you have to be green-white for Centaur Healer, but like
right.
So like this is a little bit, better in that regard. But I don't like the 4.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, I don't know if they could have. It probably would have been too good if they made it 3 mana.
What if it was triple green?
If it was triple green, they could do it, yeah. But that'd be pretty tough too.
Right, but I mean, like, this is already double green. Like, if you're green-white, I would play Centaur Healer anyway, or like crazy Tristani shenanigans.
Okay.
So if this is like, I guess, for the other versions of green decks that like maybe don't play white, and you might be heavier green, and you could afford triple green.
It's surprising there's like no triple, like cheap triple green or like
like devotion activators kind
devotion
of
thing.
But there is an RTR.
Yeah, I mean, there's a triple green. There's the Arbor Colossus, but he's 5. But I'm saying like straight up, what was the 4/5 for 3 mana, like way back? It was like
in green.
Yeah, World Wake or something.
Yes.
4/5 for triple.
Was it Leatherback Bailoff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was triple
So
green.
like something like that, it would be like, oh man, that's sick for this.
Yeah. What's the other split ones in the RTR block? It's Boros Reckoner for Boros. Does each guild have one?
Yeah, the
Spectre.
Simic one is a draw guy. When you hit, you draw. They're not as exciting.
Okay. But the devotion.
Yeah, they're definitely devotion enablers. Definitely worth considering.
Yep. Nylea's Emissary.
I like this one a lot, actually. It's another hill giant that has a very relevant ability and grants a relevant ability off its bestow.
Yeah, I do like it too, I guess.
It's not like Windmill Slam territory, but it serves a perfect role in your deck, in your curve.
Yeah.
Next up, Nylea's Presence. I just don't like this card. Like, it replaces itself, but...
I wanted to kind of play this in Valakut decks, but then I remember that Prismatic Omen just does the same thing, but
for all your
lands. Yeah.
Same mana
It's a good card.
Yeah,
Prismatic Omen's a good card.
Super good card. Yeah, I just don't see this doing enough. Like, it's mana fixing, so like it might help in limited, but...
Would you consider playing it in like a futuristic ban hexproof list? Or like hexproof list? You get this and abundant growth?
No, I just like abundant growth.
Okay.
All right. Is it what set is abundant growth in?
I thought it was an RTR, wasn't it? Anyway, we're Deal of Nylea.
Yeah, this is the.
You get to untap
3 counters.
Oh no, you search for 2 basic lands, put them into the play battlefield, tap them. This is the worst one.
Yeah, this one's definitely not nearly as good as the other ones.
This is the worst one.
I mean, I'd still probably play it, but
I think it'd be way cooler if, like, when you sacrifice it, you got to put counters on something.
more counters.
Well, it's like because the counters go away when the enchantment goes away, right?
No.
Oh yeah,
They're
okay.
counters.
I like it if you just got more counters. To me, that feels very green.
It is green. Or I could even see a temporary boost, like you get free, maybe
that
you get
too.
like a free mini overrun,
Yeah.
like a +1/+0 and trample.
But it like sort of ramps you, which is also green. But I feel like the land should come into play untapped.
Yeah, because you're getting basics, so it's not like it's
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know. This one's really boring compared to the other ones.
Oh well. About Ferris Band Centaurs.
It's just a 3/7 for 5.
Yep, not very exciting.
Not at all.
But
Pull you, Kranos.
this guy's the man.
He's here to eat your worlds. I like the artwork on the promo better. It looks like a bird. Like Hydras are very beaky, I guess.
Yeah.
He's got beaks.
I gotta compare them side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this guy a lot. 5/5, 4 mana, super aggressive. His monstrosity is probably the most relevant, for like constructive purposes.
It's between him and the dragon.
I think he's more like
I
think
agree.
this guy's gonna get monstrosized more than the dragon.
I agree, but I feel like the dragon's gonna be happening just as often.
You think so?
Yeah,
because you can do this for like cheap mana, and just shoot some small guys.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's very solid. My only complaint is that he's just a vanilla creature.
Green always has vanilla creatures. It's like
I know, but like
Green's thing is like they're just vanilla creatures, but they're bigger than everybody else.
how much does Deadbridge Goliath played?
No, not a lot.
Not at all.
But Deadbridge Goliath doesn't shoot things, so
no, but it makes like something enormous.
yeah. I definitely think this guy's better than Deadbridge Goliath.
Yeah, I think so too. He's gonna be played. I just think he's gonna fall off depending on how much removals in the format. People are gonna want something a little more evasive or something that actually has a little value tied to it.
Okay.
All right. He's still good though.
I don't disagree with your point. Like he's very prone to removal, which is Green's problem.
I just think he's very like, all right. In like 6 turns, I'm gonna be really excited about this guy.
Yeah.
It's like when you play him, you're just like, all right, cool. Here's a 5/5.
Yeah, and sometimes that's enough.
Sometimes, if your deck's like all 4 mana 5/5s,
yeah,
one of them will eventually get through.
I don't like this guy. I don't like it. Because, all right.
He could be huge.
He could be huge, but he doesn't have any abilities. Like
I don't think
why,
he's a rare.
Yeah, he's a rare. Why doesn't he have trample? Like,
Because he hasn't played Malia yet.
Give me something. Give me something, yeah. Like, yeah, he just doesn't feel a rarity to me with no abilities besides potential bigness.
Yeah, yeah, he could have been uncommon.
Yeah. Very unexciting.
What about Satyr Hedonist?
Not very excited about it, but if there's some combo-y deck and standard at some point, I can see this guy,
Now,
being
what
a part
about a Burning Tree Emissary deck that plays Hedonist off the Emissary, or it ramps up into early dragons or something monstrous, maybe? Yeah, I mean, he's also a 2/1 for 2, so
he's not. His body's not irrelevant.
He can still get in there.
Yeah, no, I don't hate that.
Huh. Yeah.
Maybe something going on there.
He's very niche. But, he's going to perform the niche role pretty well if he finds one. Satyr Piper. 2/1 for 3. Her creature must be blocked. This seems pretty good with the Death Touch bow.
Yeah, seems exceptional with Death Touch.
Otherwise, just a dude.
Otherwise,
2/1.
not great. I mean, it's definitely decent and limited because you're in green already because of the Piper, so you can still have that thing of you have to block my big guy, which will cause you to lose creatures.
Yep.
But yeah, if you have the bow, then it becomes very exciting.
Yeah.
But no, I don't see him having any constructed playability. This is a very exciting green combat trick.
Yeah, I agree.
I love untap on combat.
Yeah,
tricks.
it's very, very tricksy.
Very awesome.
Reminds me of did that one in Innistrad untap, the spider one, Spidery Grasp or something?
Yes.
That untap, yeah, that one was sweet. This is the same thing, but cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a good trick.
Exactly where we want to be. Works exceptionally well with the guy that has the heroic 3 counters. It's pretty disgusting. It was an 8/8.
Yeah. Yeah. Humph. Yeah, humph. Exactly. Sedge Scorpion. It's Typhoid Rats in green.
Yeah. if you have the satyr that you have to block, maybe something going on there. But as a whole, I don't like we haven't actually played with the set too much yet. But I'd say the super weenie stuff is gonna get outclassed too quickly. Like it's not where you want to be. This isn't like RTR like Boros set where you can like you want 1, 2, 3s and that's it.
You want to trade with
Right.
1, 2, 3s.
Like this isn't the set's too like big and tricky and stuff like that.
How cool would it be if they made like a scorpion tribe
That would be interesting.
with like lords and everything?
They've never done a insect lord at all. Like
The Nantukas, do they have one?
but the Nantukas are like humanoid though.
Yeah. What if it's like a humanoid scorpion people? That'd be crazy. Like they've got the tail and everything, and like
Maybe you should write a letter.
one hand's like a clicker clacker.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it definitely sounds cool. You should go work for.
Hey, you're an artist.
Yeah.
Do it up.
Shredding Winds.
This card shreds.
I don't
Giving
know
a
if this
new
card-
term to air guitar.
Don't really know if this card makes sense right now to me. Is there a lot of big flyers right now? Like I don't quite get it.
Not
I
really.
mean, there's a dragon, there's Archangel of Doom.
I just think it's a cool card. Like I feel like somebody at Wizards just had fun making this.
I mean, the flavor's awesome. Like I love the Shredding Winds. 7 damage. Like that's instant speed.
It's crazy.
It's definitely decent. I mean, it's sideboard card only. If big flyers become like the thing in standard, then maybe it sees play there. But as a whole, it's not going to see much play.
All I could think was the dragon or like some weird Sphinx thing.
Staunch-hearted warrior. Pretty good. I mean, he's a common.
Yeah, as a comment, I like it.
If you got like a lot of the untapped combat tricks and stuff, you
I agree.
Get pretty big, pretty fast.
I was gonna complain about the 4 mana cost, but as a comment,
I
I like
don't
it.
love the 4 mana cost either. I mean, I like the uncommon that we talked about earlier that gets 3 counters.
Yeah.
Better. But serves a role. So Sylvan Carotid.
Carotid,
Carotid.
something like that. Yeah,
He's
I like
telling
this
me-
guy.
He's telling me it has a silent Y.
I think it has a silent way. Not Carotid.
So this guy is pretty good. So it's Utopian Tree, basically, a little bit better. Can block, where Utopia Tree really couldn't block because it was like an 0-1 or an 0-2.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be very played in standard.
So it's taking the role of Farseek right now. I think it definitely will see play. I'm just not sure what the deck looks like right now. Because I've been working on some rampish decks, and most of them are like green white and green red.
Yeah.
And he's not making the deck. He's getting cut.
I like them in decks that don't have the dual lands.
Okay. I feel like to really take advantage of him, you need to be a 3-color.
Yeah.
Because the 2-color doesn't really do much.
Right, and 2-color decks are missing a dual land. Or 3-color decks are missing a dual land.
Right. So, yeah, a very good card. It's the buy box card with a different artwork. I do like this artwork better though. Solid card. It's a card that we need right now at standard because mana fixing is not great.
I think it's going to be very played.
Ramp's not great. So.
I think it's going to be very played. Just for fixing and ramp.
Yep. I also mean it's very solid against aggro decks.
Yes.
Just wall.
Something Farseek didn't do.
Right.
Time to Feed. I hate this card. It's a little confusing, does a lot of stuff, but at the same time does absolutely nothing. Yeah, you have to read it because it's what's going on here?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad, right?
Yeah, I'm not feeling this card.
So you pick a creature, and then when that creature dies, this turn, it has to be that turn,
Yeah.
you gain 3 life, and then you get to fight creatures.
It's fighting, yeah, but
It's a 2-for-1 card, by itself,
right.
but it's a sorcery, and it's ridiculously hard to affect, to play.
I feel alright, so what's the name of that fight card again? It was Pit Fight, and what was it?
Prey upon.
Prey Upon was 1 mana. It was fight. This is 3 mana, so where they're saying 3 life is worth the equivalent of 2 colorless.
Yeah, but it also has to be when something dies, something specific, and you have to hope that thing dies.
Yeah.
Like, there's situations where you're gonna be able to concoct, where like you'll be able to pull it off because it has to die or something. But because it's a sorcery, it's so like, all right, if that thing dies, it's like, all right, well then it's not gonna die.
Well, yeah. I mean, you obviously choose the card you're gonna fight. Because you know, I mean, you can choose the creature that you fight.
Okay, because it fights as well.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I mean,
That's worded like backwards.
The wording is really bizarre.
They should have put the fight clause before the
life
life
clause.
clause.
Like multiple times.
Yeah. All right. I still think it's terrible.
I mean, they're doing that so you could choose a different creature. You don't have to choose the creature that you're fighting, but the card is 99.99% is going to be used to choose the creature that you're going to kill, and you gain 3 life from the creature you just killed.
Yeah, I don't really care for it.
I mean, you play it if you need it, but like I feel like the combat tricks are just more solid.
Yeah, I agree. Voyaging Satyr.
It's okay. The number one thing that I could see using this with is with the new special land.
Yeah, or like Guild Gates.
Well, no, I'm saying the super ramp one.
Devotion. Nykthos.
Yeah, Nykthos.
Yeah,
like that, I could see it being used for, where you could really like go.
That
off
could
with
actually be kind of nuts.
We could go off with it, but outside of that, I don't see it doing much.
That could be pretty nuts.
I mean, it's still like it's still a mana accelerant by itself. Like it still is a Arbor Elf, basically.
Kind of.
It's just 2 mana Arbor Elf is much worse than 1 mana Arbor Elf.
Significantly.
Yeah. I mean, granted, you can untap any land, but
yeah.
If he sees play, I think it's because of that combo aspect, which I just mentioned.
Yeah, I agree.
Vulpine Goliath. So it's a fox crawworm that is better than crawworm.
Because it is
I
trample.
don't know why. Well, it's also 6/5 instead of 6/4. But like, I don't understand why this fox is a 6/5. I can see that like the artwork's showing it's a large fox.
I don't even like get that per se. Like I get it compared to the trees, but
because there's a tree in front of the fox. In,
right.
In terms of like art breakdown of like the tree is in our foreground.
Yeah, you need the foreground to define the middle ground.
The mid ground is determining the sizes. So it's like it's just a giant fox, but I don't know.
It looks cuddly.
Boring. Yeah, it does not look very aggressive. It looks like
a 6/5 at all. Like it's like Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah. And then last card for green is Warrior's Lesson. It's decent, so it's just like draw 2 cards basically.
Yeah, I like this.
For a green.
Yeah, and odds are you'll be triggering heroics too.
Yeah, I think that's more where its value will come from. Like, yeah, draw 2 is awesome, but
in green.
But the green heroic especially is like all your guys get big.
Yeah.
So like that's a lot of value.
Make my dudes enormous and draw 2 cards.
Right.
Yeah, I think this card's playable in terms of a trick.
Yeah. Well, that wraps it up for green. And come back tomorrow for the rest. See ya.
Bye.